My name is Nikita Fernandes, and I use she, her, hers pronouns. I am a graduate of George Mason University, where I graduated with a bachelor's in psychology and a minor in women and gender studies. Um, I also graduated and went on to do a master's in mental health counseling with a dual degree in LGBTQ social services and health. And currently, I am a mental health therapist. I came to George Mason University from India as an international student and felt very engaged with the social justice movement at the time when I was at George Mason University. Finding the Women and Gender Studies department and taking classes was very important to me as I was starting to discover my own queer identity, and I wanted to also learn more about intersectionality. That led me to attend some women and gender studies classes, which were so helpful in helping me recognize the intersections of my own identity and also meet people and give them the respect and the space that they themselves needed to be comfortable in their identities. Getting a minor in women and gender studies was very, very helpful for me because it really gave me a lot of information that I needed in order to continue my goal of wanting to help a lot of queer people and other minorities, such as women and people of color. And I really appreciated how the Women and Gender Studies classes made me aware of my privileges as well as my limitations. This really helped me, I think, get into my master's program of mental health counseling that was very social justice focused, and it also gave me a good upper hand in already having a lot of foundational skills when it came to intersectionality in order to serve queer populations through the field of mental health counseling. I believe that the classes that I've taken at George Mason are so valuable. They're truly, content that I turn to even now after graduating with my master's. I'm specifically thinking about classes such as the media studies and thinking about how gender is depicted in media. And I think that has been so foundational in helping me work with my clients that are queer and see themselves in media, because it gave me a lot of information about how queer people are perceived. Another class that I feel like was very helpful for me was a class that talked about immigration and queerness. I think that for me as an immigrant was very personal, and it made me aware of issues that a lot of queer asylum seekers are subjected to upon entry to the US. And it's still content that I think about so much, especially since I work with a lot of immigrant queer people. And everything that I've learned in my minor shows up every day in my job when I work with clients that hold identities that are similar to and different than my own. And I feel like the foundation that I've gained from the minor has really equipped me to meet their needs in a way that's helpful to them. I think people gain critical thinking skills, which we don't really have access to outside of academia, which is unfortunate. Women and gender studies classes really enabled me to think critically about my own privileges and how I occupy space in the world. It's made me mindful about the way that I interact with other people of color and the way that I'm perceived by white peers. I think from studying women and gender studies, people can also gain a lot of history, which is important to the movements that are happening currently, such as the Black Lives Matter movement and a lot of the queer-led movements that we're seeing come to the forefront of this very charged political time. I think it's been helpful to understand what the feminists of the past have studied and what they've come up with, so we can start to layer our own learning upon that foundation. First of all, I want to applaud anyone that has an interest in and pursues women and gender studies. I think it is such a crucial field, especially today in any industry. So whether it's a major or a minor, it is so needed to have the skills that these classes give you. I've seen my peers that had women and gender studies minors go on to do HR, and have gone on to do other careers that have not been as related, but they've definitely used a lot of the skills that they've learned. I also think it's a huge benefit to have this background, because it does make you an attractive candidate who is socially aware of what's going on, specifically if you are engaging in any helping fields or the healthcare industry. It's really crucial that everyone understands our history, and queer history and feminist history, because it informs a lot of the job markets right now and a lot of the fields, even if it doesn't seem like that from the outside. Really, really grateful that I had the chance to have access to women and gender studies classes. Um, I truly think that I've met the most incredible professors. I've done so much growth and learning in those spaces that have extended well beyond just professional and academic related. And I think it's helped me overall just be a better person. And I'm really glad for that.